Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. We are here again with a special guest, David from DBM Racing. We have a
Hey guys.
lot of really cool topics to talk about tonight. So welcome back. I see a lot of the same names over in the chat, of course. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support every freaking Monday. I know it's tough, but we're going to be talking a lot tonight about the possibility of a C9 Corvette rendering already existing. We got some E-Ray conversation, some ZR1 conversation, and some general Corvette infotainment system conversation. We're going to get into all of that tonight on Corvette Weekly, where we talk about anything and everything Corvette. So once again, guys, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We got David from DBM Racing here. We were just talking a little bit behind the scenes before we went live, and he's got some really cool information to bring to the table tonight. So like I said, I'm going to have random guests on the channel from time to time, but David and Brandon are likely to be on here once or twice a month, just as the hardcore car guys that they are. I really wanted to keep this more of a car topic kind of thing. So basically the knowledge of cars all night. So whether it's them or other random people that come in that drop some knowledge, it's going to be packed full of knowledge, guys. That's what we want. Knowledge is power after all. So Judy's in the house. Welcome, Judy. That
Yeah,
Corvette
Mark
guy.
Cutsy. What's up? What's up, Mark? Aloha.
Man, to live in Hawaii, huh? So
Right.
Mark
And to be
Cutsy,
able to doing this at like three, what are you at? Like
yeah,
3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Like,
probably sipping margaritas, sitting on the beach. That's what I picture of Hawaii, is just all beach.
exactly.
Kevin Haran, what's up? He's going to the bash with us. Kevin Haran is.
Oh yeah, we'll see at the view. Um, so Ronald, it's 1,000 subscribers is the cutoff on that giveaway. We're gonna cover that just a little bit tonight, just so
Yep.
everybody knows, because I've gotten a lot of questions over the weekend because it's a $4,000 set of rims for free. So we'll cover a little bit of that, but it's got some good traction, but it's really a little bit of confusion, even though it's all in the video. But we'll go over it tonight, man.
Yep. Bruno says, "So sorry, I love you, Justin, but the Yankees take presidency." I got you, man. You can always have us on the phone. Have us on your phone while you're watching the game.
That's true.
It's beneficial, and it would make us love you even more, Bruno. The eclipse was cool in Texas. The eclipse was interesting here in Pennsylvania. I've never actually seen an eclipse before, so this was the first time for me. But I had these glasses that my sister-in-law gave me, and I was like, "What are these for?" I'm just gonna stare right at it. No, I'm just kidding. Mark Cutsy says, "Looking forward to the Metallica jam session tonight, 1:30 p.m. and it's 5 o'clock somewhere." There you go.
1:30 p.m. That's just what.
It's like literally 6 hours later than that here in PA.
Right. Well, we've only got 17 thumbs up, guys. You guys got to get busy on that.
Listen,
So,
listen to this guy. This is why I invite him on here. Look at that. He's playing Shane.
like,
I didn't even ask him to play Shane. He's playing Shane.
no, no. Well, and again, I'm in the garage tonight. You guys will see, just because I was doing some painting to the room I was in last week. That's my guitars and everything else, because I'd done some drywall patching and it reeks of paint.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's no way I could have done an hour up there. I'd have had the worst headache ever. So
yeah.
I'm just here in the garage tonight.
Well,
So,
honestly, I love doing my lives from the garage. I think there's not a better backdrop than what you have behind you right now. And
that is true.
the next time we're on here together, I'm gonna have to be down there too, because my car would be going the other way, so it would look pretty good
Perfect.
actually.
That
Yeah.
would be perfect. Yeah, I love it.
So LT4 Powered says, "I'm watching this and hockey." Look at this guy.
That's
That's
it,
called
man.
multitasking right there, if I've ever seen it. Ronald Jackson
Yep.
watching the Brewers and the Reds plus watching HBO. There you go.
See, Ronald's got it figured out, man.
Bruno says, "Okay, I submit." You're on the phone. Thank you, Bruno. You guys are awesome. You guys are always awesome. You're too good to me. Tyler says he was disappointed with the eclipse. He says 1 out of 5 stars, would not watch again. No,
Yeah, Justin and I
I
talked
added that.
about that a little bit before we came on. It wasn't great for us here in Georgia. It was like a 70% eclipse. It got kind of dusky, but I mean, it wasn't a ooh ah moment, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
Like I said, I've never seen one before, so I can check that off my list of things to do, I guess. But it's it's a moon passing in front of the sun at the end of the day. Like, I mean, there was a lot of conspiracy theories out there about how we were going to lose the internet and electricity was going to be down for a week, all this crazy stuff.
right.
So I was kind of wondered if that was going to happen, but let's see. Yeah, Bill Miller says anyone with retina burns who tried to use their sunglasses. Yeah.
You'll know tomorrow when they come into work with like patches over their
Yeah, they'll
eyes.
look
It'll
like
be the people.
raccoons.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paul Yunker says, I've been away for a while. Where has Jason and Steve been? Is the Vet Syndicate no more? Vet Syndicate still is a thing. Vet Syndicate is basically Jason and Steve are doing so much work with car shows down in Texas that we decided to let them do that down there and not make them come on here every Monday night because it was getting really difficult for them to juggle everything. So we're still part of the same group. They're just doing the car shows down in Texas while I'm maintaining the live videos up here with a little bit more of an informational news style approach.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Brandon was actually supposed to be on tonight, guys. We're going to try to do more with him, but unfortunately, his grandfather passed today, so he's
yeah.
taking care of his family and looking after everybody. So wishes out to him, but he was going to be with us tonight too. He really had a good time, and when he was on, he thanked everybody for his support. So he'll be on more. You guys will see more of him for sure.
Yeah, like I said, guys, I'll have Brandon and David on probably twice a month. Um, Brandon was supposed to be on tonight, but like David said, his grandfather passed. So if you guys want to give him some condolences, you can do so here in the chat as well as Brandon's channel. Let him know you're thinking about him because that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
LT4 Powered says, was the Eclipse a turbo? I'll see myself out.
Where's 11-second eclipse?
Glass City Cardinal says he's watching a Celica and listening to the show, so that's cool. 11-second Eclipse is in here, I think. I saw his name. Michael McCurry, what's up, man?
Hey, Michael.
Paul Monaco's listening, looking, and driving. Ooh, that's dangerous, sir. You don't have to look too much. I'll let you know when you got to look. For the most part, you
Yeah,
can
you
just
can
listen.
listen for the most
Yeah.
part. I've done that before, for sure.
Steven Risha's in here. What's up, man? So Steven's coming to my show. For those of you who haven't seen this yet, I'm putting on a show May 18th up here in Pennsylvania. Um, I started up all the details already. It's well over a month away, but I wanted everybody to know when it's happening so you can make the appropriate arrangements in your life if you want to come. So last time we did it was about 2 years ago now. We had over 200 cars show up, and this time it looks like it's going to be even bigger. I've had over 300 people respond already, and I just put it up 2 days ago. So I think it's going to be a pretty big show. And if you guys are interested, it's in the Discord and it's also posted on the community tab on YouTube here. And as this show gets closer, I'm going to be talking about it in videos and posting it up all over the place. So as many people as possible know about it to be there. I'd love to see all of you there, but it'd be really cool if you could come.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Amber is driving and listening at the same time. I know she's coming home from work.
Hey, what's up, Amber?
Steven says he's going to bring both cars. Looking forward to it. That's cool. I haven't gotten to see your Camaro yet. John Perkins says hello, Amber. All right, so guys, let's start out the conversation here with the giveaway. So we are still doing the giveaway from last week, which of course is the C8, C7, or C6 Corvette Attack Blue air filter, which is worth roughly $150 to $160. You will win that as well as the Pixel Auto Works engine plaque. I'm going to pull that up here now, but if you guys haven't seen it on my car, it's basically a plaque that sticks to the right beneath where the engine's at, and it will tell you all kinds of stuff about your car. This is available as well for any Corvettes from 2005 all the way up to 2024. So if you're interested in something like that, it really does make your car and your engine especially look like a centerpiece for some trophy kind of thing. So I'm pulling it up here now so I can show you, but
Yeah, actually, after looking at it on your stuff from last week, I just went ahead and ordered one.
did you?
Yeah, I was like, you know what, that's too cool not to have one. So I was like,
Yeah,
screw it, I went ahead and ordered one. So because you can customize
you
everything on
can.
it. I didn't
Yep.
know that originally, but you can customize everything on it. So I just like, all right, I need one, must have one.
So this is it here, guys. So just like David was saying, you can customize the color. It doesn't have to be orange. You can customize the name, like mine says it's owned by Horsepower Obsessed. You could put in what color it is, all that stuff. So you own this plaque that literally talks about your car. So
Right.
obviously you can see there it asks for your VIN, your build date, and all that stuff. It literally is a plaque to show at car shows like what your car's all
I was
about.
just I was just gonna say that. Like if you're a car show guy,
Yeah, this
and
is
of
it.
course, you've got a mid-engine Corvette, you want to pop that up anyway so people can look. I mean, that's your piece right there. Like I said, I've seen it multiple times on Justin's car, but after seeing it was on the giveaway last week and went back and looked at some of his videos, I just went ahead and ordered one myself. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. So again, these are worth, you could see about $110 plus shipping. Then the air filter is about $160 plus shipping. So roughly $300 all in. And if we can get to that point, we got $60 last week. We need to get to about $300, and we give this set of things away. You'll win the air filter as well as this plaque for your choice of C6, C7, or C8 Corvette. So that's pretty much the giveaway for tonight. But as usual, guys, if you want to donate, Venmo is the best way to do so. If you donate via Venmo, it more of the funds actually reach me versus YouTube taking them for Super Chat. But if you can't do Venmo, Super Chat is still an option for you, and you'll still get entered in the same to win. So let's see. Yeah, Amber said, did she miss something? Where's Brandon? Um, Brandon's grandfather passed,
yeah,
Amber, so that's why he's not on here tonight.
yeah, yeah. So
Mark Cutsy said, even though the engine bay plaque is for a coupe, it still worked for my hardtop convertible. That's cool. Yeah, so if you guys, even if you do have a convertible and you have the clear cover, you could still use this.
yeah. Mark Huzzy also said that he emailed you. He had a lap time of 113.93 at Ron Fellows, and then Fishtail recovered. Then Fishtail unable to recover and spun out. I
Ooh,
bet you were glad in that split moment that you paid for the up.
I was just
The
gonna say,
Did you do it, Mark?
it's funny because BPR Z06 was at Ron Fellows with me, and I did not buy the extra insurance. So I knew going into it I wasn't gonna go 100% because I'm
Right.
you could cause a lot of damage on those cars just by going off the track. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'll give it like 90%. BPR got a 116 on the track. I believe my best time was a 118. And that was,
Nice.
like I said, I was not going 100% because I did not want to break or wreck anything.
Oh,
So,
you can spend 14 grand on just lips,
oh
body
yeah, yeah,
panels, carbon fiber like that on one of these
100%.
cars. So
Yeah, because they have
I'm just
they
wondering if Mark actually did the buy up, and if he didn't, was he thinking about it when he was spinning around on the track?
yeah, Mark, let us know if you did buy that extra
Yeah,
insurance because that to me, yeah, he did get it.
yeah, he
Okay.
did. He
Okay.
said,
I was gonna say because that's the only reason I didn't go as hard as I wanted to on that track. Because if I would have gone, I probably would have been around what BPR was, 116. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a professional racer or anything, but I would have definitely done better than I did had I not had that feeling over my head of you got to pay for this thing if you wreck it. Like,
right. Well, and unfortunately, Mark, there's no insurance for your pride, buddy. That's just when
no,
you gotta
yeah, you got to suck that
lick
one up.
those wounds and go on.
You know? Yeah, flying cop car. If I could give you any real recommendation for the event, it probably would be to buy that insurance because without it, like I said, it's always hanging over your head that if you mess up, you're gonna owe a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
again,
I did the upcharge or the up insurance for when Brendan and I go in September. I That was right away because I was like, I'm gonna push this thing as hard as I can. And I didn't want to be like, I mean, because I'd have been thinking, okay, I'm pushing hard, but am I pushing $14,000 hard?
right, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and the insurance, it's not a horrible cost. It was a little bit more expensive for the Z06 insurance than it is for the C8 Stingray insurance, but it still wasn't bad. I think it was 400.
400, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
thought,
400.
$400.
But 400 versus 14,000 versus 4,000, there's a $10,000 difference.
Right.
I mean, that's worth it to me.
Yep. Yeah, and if you go pushing as hard as you can, there is a really good chance. There's at least two turns on the track at Ron Fellows that you could easily spin out on. And I recognized them the second I went over both of them. I'm like, okay, that's the one right there. But I could have cut probably a second off my track time just by going around that turn harder. But there's a good chance you're spinning out if you do it too hard. So
Right. Or hitting both those corners combined as hard as you can.
right, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's 2 seconds right there. All right, so we got rest day. Joey B donates $20, so he gets entered in 2 times. Again,
All
guys,
right.
if you donate $50 or more, you will be entered in for double entries. So anybody who donates 50 bucks at this point, you're basically your chances of winning are pretty good because no one's donated that yet. But yeah. So again, C8, C7, C6 Corvette air filter or C6, C7, C8 Pixel Auto Works engine plaque. You're going to get both of them once we hit the $300 um, allowance here. Whoever wins gets both. Yeah, Mark Gorski said it's a couple $100 for the insurance. Yep.
Yep.
So let's talk about a little bit of news here, guys. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about right off the bat, because me and David were talking about this behind the scenes, was the warranty that was blocked for a fellow YouTuber from GM on a C8 Corvette Z06 that he bought, and he bought it straight from the dealership. He was the first owner, but GM is blocking the warranty on this for some reason. So this is an interesting topic over at the mid-engine Corvette forum.com because again, he didn't buy it used, he didn't buy it secondhand. He is the first and only owner, but GM is blocking the warranty. So obviously, this is very likely to be fixed on its own at
Right.
some point, just because it's not something that he did. It's a kind of a mess up on GM's end. But it is interesting to see because I think this is one of the first times I've heard of anybody getting their warranty blocked on this car. If you guys remember when the car first came out, this was a big thing. If you sold the car within the first 6 months, the next buyer was not going to have a warranty. And I haven't heard much more about that until now. This one, of course, like I said, is unlikely to withstand the test of GM because they're the ones that messed this up. But at the same time, we have a little bit of a background here with David reached out to a friend of his who is a lawyer just to see where GM stands with this and if they can actually do this. So
Right. Yeah.
what did you find out?
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about this one and then we talked about the other one that was on the Minigen forums as well. That was the guy who bought it from a dealership used, but didn't know that the other person had flipped it in a month. And then, but anyway, for this one, the guy, my buddy's like, hey, he's like, that GM will make that one right.
Yeah.
Not only just because the guy's out there public, he's a YouTuber. He's like, that's on them. He bought it new. It's very easy to prove. There's no, he's like, hey, here's when I picked up my car. Here's my VIN number. I paid for it. So they'll make that right. That's not going to be a problem for him. I mean, you would hope so, but the GM's going to have to take care of that one. There's nothing they can say about that. I mean, that's just shut and open and shut, done.
Yep.
So,
So Ronald
and
Jackson
I know
says
we talked. I
he
know
said
we talked. I didn't sign
yeah.
the when I did mine. Like I didn't have to sign it. I mean, I don't know if they didn't do it or what, but I didn't have that paper. I knew of that paper, but nobody was like, "Hey, we need you to sign this." And even after, nobody emailed me after and go, "Oh, hey, you got your car. I need you to sign." It's like I never got that paper. So
Yeah. So Ronald Jackson says, Justin and David, have you guys checked? Is yours valid? I haven't had any work done, but I mentioned it to my dealership that whenever I first got my car, there was a wrinkle in the leather seat that I wasn't super pleased with. So I mentioned it to my dealership at the time, and they said to just bring it in and they'd fix it. I've never taken it in because it kind of since then went away on its own. So I would imagine at that point they probably would have told me if I was going to have an issue, but I think we're good, hopefully. But just like David said, I didn't sign that paper either. They didn't make me sign it. So
right.
I'm well past my 6 months with the car anyway, so it wouldn't really matter at this point. But I never signed it saying I wouldn't sell the car, so I could have sold it within the first couple months, and I would have had no legal obligations outside of that.
Correct. And that's kind of the conversation my attorney friend and I had about the other situation where the guy bought one from a dealership that somebody had flipped in a month that had signed the paperwork and those kind of things. And he said, if you didn't sign the paperwork, the paperwork basically is between you and GM, and it's your duty to let other folks know if you sell it, like, hey, I haven't had it 6 months, you're not going to have a warranty on it. So the way he kind of said that is like GM can wipe their hands of that situation because you've signed the paperwork and there's nothing to do for that. But if the second owner who buys it, if the dealer didn't know, then he can potentially go back against the original owner for not disclosing that information. It would be like, selling a car with something wrong with it under a contract, or when you sell your home and you don't disclose stuff like that. He
Yeah.
said, again, if it was a GM issue, like you're never going to outlaw your out money GM. Like that's just never going to happen. But back to when you asked about, I took my car in like a month after we had it because Brandon and I both were like, oh, we have a weird tick, but they sound exactly the same. So it can't be that we got two
Right.
bad engines.
Exactly.
I didn't know how loud these cars were going to be from a valve train standpoint with the mechanical lifters, etc. So I just took it in and have them do the oscilloscope where they measure it and make sure it's not the dreaded tick. But I was under warranty. They were fine. That was like a month after. So I'm sure that I won't have any issues as long as I don't do anything to avoid it. So
Right. And that I get that question all the time in my email. People will send me and ask about the engine tick. Is this the dreaded Z06 tick? And I
right,
tell everybody the same thing because it's in our heads now that we got to check for this. A direct injection engine will always tick. It's the tick from the Z06 style tick is significantly louder than a direct injection tick. If you hear it, if you think you have it, you don't have it because you will
right,
know when you have it. It is
right.
really loud. I've only heard one car with it, and it is a
Yeah, I heard
lot
one car.
louder than just your direct injection normal ticking.
Well, and also too, so these cars have mechanical valve trains. Most valve trains nowadays on cars are hydraulic valve trains, which are a lot smoother, a lot quieter. So the basically how a mechanical drivetrain works is you're not using oil or any fluid to actually help manipulate the valve train with the cams. The cam is actually sitting and riding right on the follower, so that way you get a lot more mechanical tick noise.
Right, exactly.
Again, when I fired it up, we had the exact same sound. So I was like, this can't be the
Right.
TIG. And it never changed. So I started reading, and so, it's mechanical valve trains. I mean, race cars use mechanical valve trains, exotics use mechanical valve, and they're all noisy. But I figured, heck, it's still under warranty. It's a month out. I'll take it to my local dealer and check it. And they checked it. No warranty issues for me, but they're like, no, you're fine. They're like, this is just the valve train noise it's going to make for the rest of its life.
Okay, that's good. So Mark Cutsey says wrinkles in seats are warranted. I had to swap my passenger seat and they sent a replacement skin. Yeah, I knew that they would be warranted. Luckily, like I said, the crease that I had on mine kind of disappeared, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But um, Mr. T here says GM isn't in the business of scams, and I agree. They're definitely not.
Yep.
Um,
Agreed.
yeah, like we all at this point, me and David, 90% of you guys in the comment section, we all own something Chevy. So it's like I'm not ever going to be the guy who comes on here and bashes Chevy. Chevy's been my go-to car since I literally could drive. My very first car was a Chevy. My very last car will be a Chevy. So that's just the way it goes for me. But I like to spread information. I want people to know what it is they're working with or what they're up against. But I'm never going to come on here and bash Chevy. Chevy's my kind of my baby. So
Mark Cutsies says his WS6 Trans Am LS1 ticks, and it's been doing it for 20 years. If it stopped ticking, he'd get worried. That's
right.
about right.
Dude, the WS6 is such a cool car, man.
Cool car. That was one of my first, because
Yeah.
I grew up a Ford guy family. That was one of my first bucket list cars where I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that Trans Am W6 is one of the coolest
Yep.
cars out there.
I
It's
talked
still cool.
I guess I remember riding in the back seat of one when my dad went to look at one. He test drove one, and my dad was never really a Chevy guy. So when I saw him getting in this car, it was black. It was a WS6. It was the nicest
Mhm.
thing I've ever seen as a kid. I get in
Oh
the back
yeah.
of this car. The only thing that concerned me was there was about this much leg room between the back seat and the front seat. So as a kid, I was like, this kind of sucks. But I remember driving when he turned on the radio. It was called a monsoon sound system. It had all
Yep.
this bass. I was like, this is the coolest car I've ever been in. And
And
looking
it,
back on it, it still is. It's still an awesome car. I saw a
oh,
WS6
it
the other day here in town, and
yep.
it was amazing looking.
They are still cars that will draw attention, turn heads. And
Yeah,
have you seen the prices? Like, Mark, don't get rid of yours, man, because
they're going
the
up.
prices of them are stupid high for a WS6 Trans Am right now, especially if you've got a low miles one. Man, they are really expensive.
Yeah. Squirrel Cage Garage says, Justin, if you buy a C8 ZR1, can I be the first in line to buy your C8 Z06? Yeah, you definitely can, man. I'll let you know for sure whenever if that happens.
I was going to say, and if it doesn't work, I'm on a list at my dealer too. So if that doesn't work, you might be able to get mine. We'll see. I'm saving money now because I want to have them both. We'll see how much that one actually comes out to
I
be,
was going
though.
to say that if it comes out and it's as much as I think it's going to be probably outside of my realm of possibility. But at the same time, the C701 I have now, whenever I bought it, it was well outside of what I could afford too. So we'll see
Right.
what happens.
And I saw, I don't know, I'll have to look. I don't know. I think it was on. Anyway, I'll send it to you. M7 Black 2019 ZR1 for 139.9. It was like a, hey, this is gonna go fast.
I was going to say
So
that has to be a typo.
no, it was like somebody sent it out. I'll find it. It was
I was
on
going
my
to say,
Instagram or something.
send that to
I'll
me.
send it to you because I was like, what? I was like, well, I need a number. Let me call somebody.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't even care. Like I already have
Like,
one and I would buy it because
yeah.
those things are
Yeah.
another thing that's just going up in value.
Yep. All right, guys,
Uh,
let's get on these thumbs up. We're running behind, guys.
yeah, we are. What are we at?
Yeah, what are we on? You don't
66.
have
Yeah.
Shane, so you're like, what am I
Guys,
at?
let's hit that thumbs up. Like I said, we'd like to hit 100 by 8 o'clock. That's obviously not going to happen at this point, but smash that thumbs up button if you're liking the content, guys. We like to hit 100 usually within the first half an hour, and then another 100 by the second half an hour if we can. 200 is always the goal on these shows. It really helps the channel. It really helps us know what you're liking, so we can keep making these kind of videos for you. So please hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah, please, guys, help us out. Help Justin out. He works really hard. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into this. That now, as I'm a YouTuber myself, I'm learning.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more work than it appears on the surface, for sure.
Yeah, live videos are not easy to do. Can you see Corvette Forever? Yes, I can. Looks like he says I'm finally back from the eclipse. So he was out watching the eclipse too. We had talked a little bit about it.
Nice.
William Richardson, hello everybody. Long time no see. How you doing? Paul Yunker. What did he say up here? Yeah, no scams unless it's selling your driving data. So the big thing about that,
Yeah.
there's two things about this. Now, number one, they're not the only ones doing it. So not that that makes them innocent by any means, but it does lump them into a group of other manufacturers doing the same thing. But number two, you can actually go into the app on your phone and disable that feature so they can't gather any information from you. As soon as I bought my ZR1, I didn't even drive the car yet before I went in and disabled that option because I wanted them to have absolutely nothing to sell. So they can sell my information, sure, but it's going to show nothing because I never drove the car with that option on. Paul LaMonaco says, thumbs ups, guys. It's easier than a prostate exam. I
It is easier than a
I was going to say,
prostate
I'm
for
not going
sure.
to deny that one. It seems like it'd be a good bit easier and less
Yeah.
invasive.
That's funny. Uh,
um, D's rides in here says, good day, gents. How you doing, D. Anthony?
Andy's right. What's up, man? And then anybody, I know Justin's got some people coming down to the bash with him, but Brandon and I will be going as well. We're leaving early Thursday. But if anybody wants to meet right up Chattanooga, Nashville, any of those areas, because we're going to come right past all of those from Metro Atlanta up through Chattanooga, Nashville, and that will be up there. But we'll be up there starting early on Thursday morning. So
Yeah. So again, guys, if you are interested in meeting up at the bash or anywhere in the Pittsburgh area or anywhere in the Georgia area or anywhere in the Chicago area and driving down, there's 3 separate groups at this point that are going to be converging on the bash around the same time. So if you're interested, send me an email and I have everybody kind of in a group message so we can all kind of communicate with each other. And actually, David, do I have you in that email? I don't think I do now that I think about it. I'll have to add you
no, I
into
haven't
it.
gotten it yet. No, sir.
I'll add you into it. Um,
Okay.
because as of right now, I think I have 10 people in this email chain, and we're just going back and forth with talking about what we plan on doing there, how we're going, all this other stuff, because we are going to start mapping things out here really soon. So you're going to want to be a part of it. If you want to come with us, shoot me an email. It's horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com.
Yep. And we'll hang out. We'll get to meet everybody. Brandon and I are probably going to end up doing some mods on Justin's car while we're there. So there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff going on. So
Yep. So
and if you AW exhaust, you've never heard it. Justin's got it. Paragon exhaust, you never heard it. I've got it. You know, we both have the inventory, but you guys can come hear them, in person, see what they sound like. And I've even told Corey if people, they're on the fence about it, whichever one. I mean, if you want an inventory, you want to know what it feels like, I'll give you a ride along.
yeah.
No problem.
So LT4 Powered actually says the driving data has been monitored for years. It's weird. It's a topic now. He is partially correct though, David, because like I said, when I got my ZR1, it was the first thing I turned off. It was
Hmm.
before I even drove the car. I turned off the ability for them to record. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's got a name. I turned it off because I knew what it was then, and I didn't want them having any
Right.
of my driving data. I'm not sure why it's popping up right now as such a hot topic because it is something that they've been doing for a while. I think only recently they've started selling the information is probably why it's been popping up recently.
I don't know, man. I would even say that they've probably been selling it before.
Yeah,
I mean, because all the manufacturers do it.
yeah,
I would have a hard time thinking that GM would pass up on that free money just to offer that. I just think it's a topic now because it's public, like everybody
yeah,
knows now.
right.
Whereas before, people knew, like I knew, same thing. Like with some of my other cars, I turned it off right away.
Michael
I'm
McCurry
sure they look
says,
and see all our track time, and they're like, "Well, this
yeah,
guy's a maniac."
yeah.
Like,
Michael McCurry says that was a full glass, Amber. It was. I saw her come in too. I was surprised she didn't spill it.
Cheers. It's a long day at work.
hey, cheers.
Yeah. Mark Cutsey says between Justin and David, you guys are a one-stop shop for Z06 mods. That's that's. I mean, at the end of the day, when everything boils down,
Yeah.
me and David, we're the same as far as you guys are concerned. We're just guys who like cars and we like to mod these things.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be you're always going to see this kind of stuff on here. David goes a little further than I do with some of the stuff he does, but um, that's something to come in the future, I guess. But it's still pretty
Well,
cool,
and honestly, too, guys, like Corey said it on the live stream. I mean, I didn't get given any of the stuff. I paid for it.
right?
So what you're getting as far as whether I like it or whether I don't, or how much power it made on the dyno, or how it feels when you drive it. I mean, that's just honest review coming out from somebody who actually paid for it. And I think Corey even said it a couple weeks ago on the live stream, like, I wasn't given any of this stuff from Paragon or any of the vendors I'm using currently. I just buy it, put it on, tell you if I like it or not, tell you if it makes power. And Corey was cool because I told him when I bought it, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna dyno this and I'm gonna put the numbers out no matter what it makes. Are
Yep.
you okay with that? And he's like, go for it. He's like,
At
whatever it
that
makes,
point,
put it out there.
if you're
Yep.
buying it and you're not sponsored by them at all, that's exactly how
Yep.
it should be. Now,
Well, and he
I've
even
made it
told me he had confidence in. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I've made it very clear in the past that even if I do get given items, and I have done this in the past where it has caused problems. If I get an item for free and I'm told it will do XYZ and I put it on the dyno and it does not do that, I still make the video or I contact the manufacturer and tell them this is the video. What do you want me to do with this? And if they don't want me to put it out, I'll send the items back because I don't want to bash anybody. I really don't. I don't want to get on
Right.
here and say, "Hey, don't buy XYZ product because it's no good. It doesn't do this, that, and the other." But at the same time, you will not see me promote them and you will not see me install it on my car. All of the products that I installed on my car have been tested by myself or the manufacturer to find that they fit and deliver the numbers that they should. David is a great example of this, though. When he buys the product totally unsponsored, he can give you that same um, confident answer in whether or not it produces the power and whatnot. And you don't have to worry about the fact that maybe he's only doing it because he got it for free. I've told you guys 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times, I will never do that on this channel, but sometimes I get why it would appear that way.
Yeah, and even stuff that I've been sent, because I'm starting to get companies that'll send me stuff. I've gotten some stuff where I was like, mm, know me, just a great guy. But he was like, yeah, he's like, if you get stuff like that, he's like, just send it back. Don't trash people. Do it. So that's kind of where it's at. So
Yeah.
if I get sent something, I'll tell you guys I got sent something. But all the reviews, the shootouts for the cold air intakes, all the performance mods, we've paid for all of them just because we don't want to be beholden to anybody. And Brandon actually got last week got off. Somebody wanted him to do an ambassador deal or something, and he was like, I don't want to do it because I just want to be able to stay completely neutral on everything. He's like,
Yep.
I'll just buy it if they give me a discount, but I'll buy it. So that's
And
kind of the stance
that
we take as well. I mean,
that's a great way to do it. As the channel gets bigger, in experience at least, I've been able to be more clear with vendors reaching out and wanting to sponsor parts. I will flat out tell them, here's the deal. I will do the review on the part. I'll do the unboxing. I'll do all of that stuff, but I am going to give my 100% honest opinion. And that's even if I don't like it. And if they say, well, we're not okay with that, and then I say, don't send the product. But if they're absolutely fine with it, I'll take the product and I will give my 100% honest review. At the end of the day, just like the car sitting behind David there, my car in the garage cost me $150,000. The last thing I'm going to do is just randomly glue things on it because people are sending them to me. I'm only going to put the parts on there that I want, that I believe in.
Right.
I do want to talk about this real quick though. Bill Miller let me know it is called OnStar Smart Driver, and LT4 Powered said exactly what everybody's thinking by saying, if you're a smart driver, you disable it, and that's exactly it. So it is called OnStar Smart Driver. If you go into your app, go into the settings, and then under OnStar Smart Driver, turn that thing off. I had to turn it off for my ZR1 back in the day, and I turned it off for my Z06. I forgot about it at the time. I think I had it 2 months before I turned it off. Amber has one on her app as well for her Cadillac. We went in and turned it off, and even the Ram TRX has one in the app. I went in and turned it off. It's not called OnStar Smart Driver, but it's the same kind of thing. So you might want to tell Brandon about that.
I shall, because he drives worse than I do.
Yeah, well, that truck's, it's hard not to drive that truck rough, but
It is. It just wants to go, and now it whines. That's I don't know if you have a smaller pulley and the AFE on yours,
I have
but
the
that
AFE. Yeah,
supercharger whine, it's so loud in his truck. It's awesome. It
yeah.
is so crazy. How we doing on donations? We get any more for the giveaway?
We have not gotten any more donations yet.
Come on.
So again, guys, if you're just tuning in, C6, C7, C8 Corvette Attack Blue air filter worth about $150, and the Pixel Auto Works engine bay plaque, which is worth about $110 before shipping and everything. You're going to get both if you win. So every donation of $10 is an entry. If you donate $50, it's double entries. So if we hit 300 by tonight, we're going to give it away tonight. If not, it will go to next week again. So definitely get entered to win on this stuff, guys, because you can potentially win $300 worth of cool Corvette stuff for $10.
Yeah, just I mean I'm on my phone doing it, but just put me down for 50. I'll help push it along, and then if I win, I'll keep the plaque for Brandon, and then I'll give somebody in the channel the air filter.
Hmm, that's cool. Okay. Um, you want to put him down for $50? Yeah, I thought the same thing.
That way we can push this along.
LT4 Powered says, I'm drinking vodka, so cheers. Nice.
Michael McCurry, I'm glad you went with him. He says his NCM quote was 50% cheaper than what he was currently paying. And Brandon and I both use them. We told you guys last week, I have them on every vehicle that I have except for my daily driver, and I pay so little for my insurance for my cars. I mean, that thing behind me cost me like 800 or 900 bucks for the whole year to insure.
Yeah, that's cool. Who was, oh, Michael McCurry. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Michael
that's,
McCurry. He said it was 50%. He said I said was because he's already switched to NCM.
nice. So that's good to know. So obviously, guys, this stream is brought to you by NCM Insurance. We've talked about this a bunch on the channel, but this is the only insurance company. I was telling a friend of mine this the other day. This is the only insurance company I have ever talked to anybody about that I have never heard anything bad about. Like everybody I mentioned this to, they're like, "Oh yeah, I saved a bunch of money with going," and it's never bad stuff. Like this is an easy
Right.
sell. So if you guys are interested, like I said, even if you are happy with your current insurance, check out the link down below and make sure on step number 5 that you put that you heard about us from Horsepower Obsessed, and they will give you the absolute best rate that they can. And it might beat the current rate that you have. So give it a shot.
And they're so good that they changed their tow service one year, the vendor that they used or whatever, and they sent you a email, sent you a letter, and then text you just to let you know that, hey, just FYI, we're changing our vendor. If you have any questions, call us. Just the small things like that they do, just above and beyond. I couldn't be happier with them, and I have them on 4 different vehicles. So
Nice. All right, guys. If you could please smash that thumbs up button, really helps the channel. So definitely want to get in
there you
there.
go, Ronald. Thank you, Ronald Jackson.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah.
Ronald Jackson, thank you for the the chat here. I'll jump in and give it a try. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it doesn't hurt. Worst case scenario, you apply, see what happens, and we'll say it comes back, it's higher than your current insurance, then don't change. But it
Right.
literally doesn't hurt to give it a shot, and I bet you it's going to end up saving you some money.
Yeah, if it's not a daily driver and a weekend warrior kind of car,
Put
I
him down for 5
cannot think
entries
of an entrance that it
or
would
10.
be any reason it would be less than what you're current or more than what you're currently paying. I guarantee it'll be less if it's a daily, not a daily. I guarantee you.
Yep. Let's see. Paul Younger, I have to smash my thumb twice with a hammer.
Well, everybody else hit the thumbs up, so Paul's not smashing his thumb
Yeah.
with a hammer for us. Okay.
LT4 Powered says the quote's going to go up since we're all anti-smart driver. Well, don't tell him. No. So Darren Burnett, does turning it off in the app disable it for all vehicles in the Chevrolet app? No, I had to turn it off individually. So I go up to the top and select my Z01, or I'd have to touch again and select the C8 Z06. Both of those have two separate turn off sliders. So if you have
Right.
multiple cars on your My Chevy app, we'll say you have 3, you're gonna have to disable it 3 times.
Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Tell you what did we get to? I'll cold start this thing at the end of the show.
Yeah, there you go.
If so, what's your goal, Justin? What do you want, buddy?
At this point, let's hit 125. If we can hit
All
125,
right,
that's
guys.
only
125.
thumbs up. Really?
if we hit 125, he's going to cold start that Z06, which is the Paragon Performance exhaust.
Correct. Correct.
So Bill Miller says NCM is the best, especially after your car is two or more years old, and now Blue Book value is 30 to 40% less. Get the agreed value.
100%.
Flying Cop Car says, thanks for letting me know about the TRX tracking. I just shut it off. Yep, you're very welcome.
That's cool.
LaCroix says, are you both getting a C8 ZR1? I'm going to try. I know David's going to try as well. It's never as easy as yes or no with these things, because you know these things are going to be marked up 100K or more when they come out. So it's never just a yes or no.
And I will say, Justin, though, that so the dealership that I went to that gave MSRP guarantee, even if you're on the list for the Z06, and I don't know if I told you this, I did it in a video. We got caught right in that middle area between the 03 or 23 model year and 24 model year, and the price went up. It went up by like $5,000 or something like that. They actually honored our price at the 2023 price, because when we put our order in officially, it was like in August. So they actually didn't even charge us the upcharge. So they've assured me, and again, things can always change, but they've assured me that if I'm on that ZR1 list, which I am, it'll be MSRP for whatever I spec it out as. So we'll see. But they are actually, I mean, I've never heard anybody doing that, being like, oh yeah, we'll honor that agreement and you don't have to pay that other $5,000.
Yeah.
Like I've never.
So it's
heard that.
funny thing about that is a couple of my subscribers that had that same thing happen, they were forced to pay the price change.
Right.
And it was because even the Chevrolet advisors, or the sales reps for the certain areas of the country, they flat out said the Z06 is not covered under price protection, whereas the Stingray is. So that same thing happening on a Stingray, you'd be covered all day, every day. But they said the Z06 is not covered, which I thought at first I thought that was crap. Like that sounds horrible.
Yeah, and I agree, especially if you got caught in that middle ground like we did. But again, Chriswell, I mean, they were straight up about it. They called me and told me, and they were like, "Hey, look, just FYI, we're not going to be charging you the extra money on that. We're just going to honor what you put your order in at." Same with Brandon. So it wasn't just an isolated thing. And we both went through the same dealership, but he had a different quote salesperson than I did. So it was an actual dealership decision, and they didn't charge that extra $5,000 or whatever it was. So
Nice, that's good.
yeah.
So a question here, Nightfalls Cars and Stuff says, what years does the smart driver affect? Wondering if my 16 has it. I'm pretty sure it does. So
yeah, I think it's anything. Somebody said it in the chat. I think it's anything that has the OnStar. So from OnStar on,
yeah.
I believe.
So
has
I
it.
know I'm pretty sure my 2015 C7 Z06 had it. So if you have the My Chevrolet app and your car is added to it, let me pull mine up here because I can actually walk you through exactly where to go.
11-second eclipse just showed up. We were asking where you were on Eclipse Day, man.
Yeah, this is your
Of all the
day.
people to not be, yeah, this is your day. Of all the people not to be in the chat today, we were talking about you earlier.
All right, so if you go into the My Chevrolet app, down at the bottom right, you're going to see 3 lines and it says more. As soon as you click on that, you're going to hit something. Actually, no, that might not be the right place. I had this before.
Yeah,
Looks
and
like your
Kevin
car.
asked, and Mark Cutsey responded in the chat. But yes, the computer itself actually limits your power for 500 miles. You won't get full throttle, it won't redline, all that. But after 500, you can run it as hard as you want it. GM just doesn't want you tracking it until 1500 is what their recommendations are. But you get the full beans at 500.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I know Brandon recorded it, and like as soon as it hit 500 and the dash display changed everything, he just gunned it. It
Well,
just
it's
did a
the
long thing.
car does not legally Chevy cannot limit your power. So technically the car has all the power from day 1, mileage 1.
Correct.
You're not supposed to use it, but you can. For those of you wondering though, in the My Chevrolet app, you go up to the top right where your name will be. Once you select that, you're then going to select settings, and then under settings you're going to see this screen right here. Let's see if you can see that. It says OnStar Smart Driver. Select that and make sure it's turned off. It's pretty easy to find actually. If you go in there and just go to settings and you'll see it in there.
It looks like your car needs some gas.
Yeah, my car always needs gas.
Mine too.
All right, so we're at
All of
100,
them.
114 thumbs ups, guys. If we keep going with that,
11 more.
you're gonna hear David's Paragon performance exhaust. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's under settings. Red C8 Z06. Nightfall says, "Yep, just opted out. Good Lord, I've been driving with that on for 2 years." And you know what's funny is almost everybody is, because it's so buried and it should not be defaulted on. You should have to go in and turn it on. The fact that it's defaulted on is already kind of exactly what I was thinking, Lewis. It's already kind of a con. It's already a con star. I mean, out of all of us in the chat, how many of you guys actually pay for OnStar?
Put up a
Exactly.
poll, Justin.
I don't
Put
think
up a
I've ever
poll,
heard
because
of
I
anybody.
don't.
The only thing I would ever even consider paying for is the ability to unlock and remote start for my phone.
That's what I pay for.
Other than that, nobody uses it.
Right. So, thiosemi-carbazide, y'all are welcome. Those are not aluminum rotors. Those are Paragon performance spacers that you probably are talking about on the back. I brought the 20 millimeter spacers to bring the wheel out to sit flush.
No, do you have carbon ceramic rotors on there or not?
No, I
Okay,
did not get the.
I think
no.
that's what he's referring to.
Oh, okay.
You know, you could
Okay.
say his name so many times and I still will not remember how to
You'd
say
have to say it like 10 times slower than you're saying it now while I'm taking notes.
If
And I'm like,
nothing else,
okay.
just have me on the channel to say Mr. T's name.
There you go.
We call him Mr. T because we can't say it.
I know.
Okay,
Yep.
so let me talk a little bit about some news here. We talked about the warranty getting denied. There's a couple other things I wanted to mention, and the big one is, of course, the C9 Corvette. You guys have heard us talk about this in the past. I almost said in the future because of the, but anyway, the C9 Corvette is likely to make its debut somewhere 2029 or 2030, if I had to guess, because the C8 platform is going to run for roughly 10 years. Just because of the popularity and because of how much it costs Chevy to change everything over. They're probably going to run it a little longer than they've run the past generations. There is a rendering going around right now from Auto Evolution that suggests that the C9 could have an appearance something like what you're seeing on the screen here. Now, this looks very, very much so like a C8 Corvette. You can definitely see the where the design language is coming from. But at the same time, this has that very futuristic feel to it. So obviously this is a rendering, but this is something to keep an eye out for because this could be what we get. It could be something like that. Now, the reason I say this is because there is a million different renderings that I found for the C9, and all of them look very similar to this. And if we scroll through this thread here on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, you can start to see them. So right there, there's another one, a silver one on the right there, that looks very similar. And then we scroll down a little bit more, and there's some people talking about another one here. And I actually used one of these in one of my videos back in the day. Again, looks very similar. So it's like all of these renderings are coming from somewhere, so we're very likely to have a car that looks something like that. And it's funny because if for any of you guys out there that are like Knight Rider fans of back in the day, this has a very, what was that one called? Knight Rider 2000 or something?
Oh yeah,
Where,
Kit, Night Rider 2000.
yeah, but
Kit Industries 2000.
it was the movie that they made that they put Kit into
Oh right,
a newer Firebird.
I remember that.
And it kind of looks like this rendering here. So it's interesting because, like I said, there's so many different renderings out there, but they're ultimately the same look. So pretty cool.
Well, and the when I was looking at earlier, the last one you showed, that silver one, that's almost really Lambo-ish.
Yeah.
But when you look at that one,
Yep.
I mean, I could see that one being more feasible to mass produce, because you see like the angles and stuff, like it's already been done,
Yeah.
right? Like I see mass produced with Lambos, but it looks a lot like a Lambo on that last one. So
So LT4 powered, he says, let's face it, the C9 or greater is going to be 100% electric. I thought the same thing initially, but it seems like the all electric initiative is kind of dying off. I don't think the C9 will initially be electric. For the first model, whether they call it a Stingray or just a C9 Corvette, I bet you it's not electric. It might be hybrid to some degree, but I bet you it's not fully electric.
well, and they may take a page from Dodge's book. You know, I know we don't talk a lot about Dodge here, but the new Hurricane twin turbo V6s that they're putting in the new Challengers and Chargers, they have so many trim levels of this. I was just looking at it the
Yeah.
other day. They have like this base model and then like a 500. They have 1,000 horsepower twin
V6.
turbo Hurricane 6
Yeah.
V6 that they're going to be putting in their drag packs.
Yep.
So don't think that that's not a possibility to be going into, the C9 as a, twin turbo V6 making 7, 8, 900 horsepower.
Well,
I mean,
it initially it was, and only because
Right.
GM had a gigantic push for electric, but they've kind of reeled that in at this point. And now they're kind of saying, maybe the push for electric's not exactly the future yet. So there is a good chance that has changed what the C9 is going to come out as.
Right. Right.
Um,
And again, I mean, you can still do a lot better from an emission standpoint with a twin turbo V6 than you can with, smaller V8s and these type of
Yeah.
things. If you're only, if your base model Corvette's got 500 horsepower, you can make that all day long, easy peasy with a twin turbo V6 and still get killer gas mileage on the highway.
Yep.
So that's always going to be something that I would not put past GM, because Dodge was like the V8 king. We're going to make a 6.4 with a 3-liter supercharger and all this craziness and get 8 miles to the gallon. And now they're no more V8s, all twin turbo V6s. So,
yep. Steve Robertson, that is right. He says my Z06 window sticker shows remote access is included for 3 years. They just started doing that again. Initially, when OnStar first started coming out as a thing in every Chevy car, they were given the remote access for free for 5 years. Then at some point they changed it where it was only free for a year. Now they're back up to 3 years. So eventually, if you keep the car long enough, eventually you'd have to start paying for the ability to remote lock and start your car and everything. But that's the only part of OnStar I would ever consider paying for.
right.
One other thing I want to mention real quick, guys, the eray giveaway that we had talked about in the past is officially done. It ended yesterday. So if you have entered, stay tuned for maybe you'll get that phone call. But if you haven't entered and you want to get something more like a Z06, you can do that too. Check out the link in the description down below. You get 50% bonus entries on this. So if you buy the $25 version here, you're going to get 9 tickets additional for free. So click the link in the description down below. You could win a 24 Z06 convertible with that Z07 package. And of course, even if you don't win, it still benefits a good charity. So definitely check it out in the description down below. It's actually pinned at the chat up at the very top of the chat here as well. So if you want to check that out, I highly recommend it.
Well, and speaking of giveaways, guys, I know a lot of people here in the channel are subscribers of mine as well. Thank you so much. We're giving away a $4,000 set of BC Forge rims for free. If you're a subscriber and you haven't heard this yet, all you have to do is email me at dbmracing2019@gmail.com and tell me you're already a subscriber and we'll get you in. When we hit our 1,000 subscriber, not that person, but that's when the giveaway ends. We're going to give away, if you can build it how you want it, whatever you want. You got up to $4,000 to spend on a set of wheels. So pass it along to people you might know. But if you're one of my subscribers, or you're in here, you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. It's free, and you can win yourself a set of $4,000 rims for free. I just put a video out today, kind of answering some questions that folks had from last week about it. But yeah, this is a really good giveaway, guys. So
Yeah. So what David actually told me off screen about this was that he was given the option to either to take the wheels and put them on his car or to give them away. And he was telling me
yeah,
off screen, he really wants the wheels. He wants to put them on his car, but he wants his
yeah,
channel to
because
grow more.
Brandon's got a set, and I love them.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is a really cool thing. This is kind of one of those things that show you the character of somebody. He believes in his channel. He wants his channel to grow so much. He's going to throw these wheels out to you guys to win just for subscribing to the channel.
that's
So
it.
if you guys don't know, DBM Racing, that's David's channel. Go over there, give him a subscribe, because you might be able to win, and you're going to have the odds of 1 out of 1,000 to win free wheels.
Well,
Those
and
are
that's
pretty good
if
odds.
everybody that already subscribes enters. Right now, there's only about 300 people in. So, I mean, your odds of winning right now are amazing.
Yeah, 1 in 300. So go over, subscribe to his channel, get entered, and get your chance to win some new wheels. I think that's an incredible thing to do. So yeah, it's very awesome. Mark Cutsey says that's awesome, DBM.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I mean, I kicked it around because Brandon's wheels are really, really nice, and I really wanted a set of lightweight rims. And it just came up when we were talking, and I said, would you guys be beefed if I gave these away instead of keeping them? And they were like, hey, man, do what you want with them.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm doing. So,
All right, we got 125. We got 126 thumbs ups technically. So we're going to get a cold start from David in a second. But before we
yep.
do, 11 Sadie Cliff says, awesome. He's already subscribed to you.
Yeah, and if you already are, send me an email so I can make sure I get you into
That's a
the
great
giveaway.
point.
If you already are,
Yep.
please don't miss this. And I, in my heart of hearts, I hope somebody that's been with me forever wins this. I really, really do. That would be just
Subscriber number
the
1.
best. Yeah, that would just be like the best for me, right? But please, if you're already a subscriber, thank you for being with me. But do not miss this, guys, because there's nothing you have to do other than make sure I know that you're in the giveaway and you're a subscriber. That's it.
Yeah. Horizon says I may need to enter so I can have both an E-Ray and a Z06. Yeah, you definitely should.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Like I said, I think he's talking about the Corvette giveaway, but check out the link in the description down below. Like I said, you get 50% extra giveaway or tickets.
LT4 says he was going to subscribe, but I can pronounce
I
Mr.
can't,
P's name.
I can't have that positivity in my life. Yeah.
That was great.
Mim Peterson just subscribed. You're gonna get a couple subscriptions out of this, I bet, David.
Well, and
That's pretty
again,
cool.
thanks, guys. It's just, it's something I want to do to grow my channel, but I couldn't be anything. Justin's not anything without the people that subscribe to the channel, that
100%.
support, that come on for the content. And I have the opportunity just to give it away. And what the heck? Let's do it, guys.
Yep. Ronald Jackson says, or I'm sorry, Kyle just subscribed. Ronald Jackson says,
And
David,
make sure
I
you
want
guys
to
that are
set for my C8.
subscribing, I'll look through here just to try to double check after it goes from live to thing, but send me an email
Yeah.
and a way to contact you.
So,
That's the
Bill-
most important thing. Take a contact, email, phone number, whatever you want, but email me and let me know, hey, I just subscribed, get me into and if you follow me on Instagram, that's another follow. You can get 2 entries.
Bill Miller just asked what's your email. So
DBM Racing 2019.
put it in the chat.
Okay.
Let people know from there. So guys, you subscribe to his channel and you send him an email with a form of contact so he can contact you if you win. That's all you got to do. That's pretty cool.
And if you follow on Instagram, then you can get 2 entries. There, I put it in the chat. It's dbmracing2019@gmail.com.
Perfect. I don't see it.
Yeah, don't miss this one,
Didn't pop up.
guys.
Okay. So one more thing I wanted to talk about real quick here, guys. As you guys are subscribing to David or clicking on that link in the description down below and entering to win a Z06, I'm also going to talk about something that was supposed to happen in the future. And that was Chevy was supposed to completely get rid of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
dumbest thing.
So they were going to be, exactly. It is so stupid. They were going to be moving to their own kind of OS that they were convinced was going to make it so we didn't even want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto
I
anymore.
literally rely on my Apple
I know.
CarPlay.
And I think everybody
Mine's
does.
wireless.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit of good news finally for that is this. So CarPlay and Android Auto to stay, question mark. So this is actually over at the mid-engine Corvette forum.com, and it says, looks like an executive in charge of promoting GM homebrew software has been shown the door. So this is a great thing. It kind of sucks that, you know, someone had to get fired for this, but it seems like it might be something that's coming to an end, and it would allow us to use CarPlay and Android Auto from here forward. Obviously, this whole thread is full of people that are talking about how useful CarPlay is or Android Auto. They use it every day. It's always the same thing, but at the end of the day, this was nothing more than from GM to try to steal some money. That's ultimately what it was. But it sounds like we may have prevailed, and it looks like that might be something that's going to be an option moving forward, because there was concern that starting 2025 C8 Corvettes were not going to have Android Auto or CarPlay, and that would be horrible. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
And I can only imagine the connectivity issues with
Yeah,
you going from your Apple earpod to a GM software. No, I
100%.
can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
No.
it would be terrible. So I'm glad that they seem like they're fixing that. It isn't in stone yet, but it is something that it's looking up, because the person that came up with this idea has been shown the door. So there's a good chance we might have this after all.
Yeah, and Chopper Larry, I'll get to you real quick. He said the platform will likely stay the same for 20 years. And I do agree now that they've spent all that money on building the mid-engine platform and the actual frame, the platform itself.
100%.
That's not going anywhere for a long time. A long time.
Chopper Larry, did you say? I'm not sure if I missed your comment or not, but
It seems
that's what I just talked about. He was talking about the frame, how it was there for 20 years on the other platforms before they changed frames.
I
It
got a
seems
message from
comments.
yeah.
I commented on a couple things too when I was obviously not driving.
I got a couple
And
comments of people saying that they're not being
They
seen.
weren't
So
coming through.
yeah, that's weird.
That happened to me also.
So Chopper Larry said that about the platform, David.
Yeah,
And that's those pictures that I showed of the potential C9 Corvette. It is going to be built on the C8 platform, 100%. They'll tweak a couple things here and there, probably stiffen up the chassis a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's going to be mid-engine. It's going to be the same kind of architecture.
Yep. And they'll have all the chassis stiffening worked out from the ZR1 and the Zora development.
Yep.
It'll be done.
LT4 Power just subscribed to you, DBM.
Thank you, LT4. Make sure you email me, because I don't want you to miss out on these wheels, man.
Yep. Michael McCurry says he likes the CarPlay in his 24. I have CarPlay in my 23. I have CarPlay in my 19. I have CarPlay in my 22 TRX. I literally go between those three cars all the time, and it's beautiful to jump in the car and immediately have the exact same platform facing me, or the exact same OS. Like, everything looks the same, even though they're different cars.
You see who just commented?
Who?
Amber, we know you comment and drive, don't lie. I don't do it when I was.
Well, here, look at this. Look at what's left. She's having fun over here.
I don't pass when you used to work at the White Oak Police Station doing that also.
Yeah, so DBM posted the email, and he said he did, but I didn't see it pop up.
There's people's comments for some reason. Mine did. Mine was one of them.
Yeah, I don't get what.
But I told you when I got on, and that's why I said, "Hey HPO," because I'm like, "Hey, are you not like acknowledging my comment?"
Yeah, so Wheeler O'Haro, David is giving away a set of BC forged wheels once he hits 1,000 subscribers, but you have to be a subscriber and you have to email him to let him know how to contact you if you were to win. So he's basically going to take all of the contact information, put it into something where he can randomly select a winner.
What happens if you don't have a Corvette? Can you still answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point. BC Forge makes wheels for Mustangs, new platforms, C5, C4, C6, classic cars. I mean, it's basically a custom. So yes, if you don't have a Mustang, you have something.
Do they make them for Cadillacs?
Yes, they have them for Cadillacs. Yes.
How about
Audi
RSQ8s?
They have them for Audis as well. I'm telling you, if you go to their website, they will make it for anything. I'm telling you, it's just about ubiquitous. Every car
the
they'll
horsepower
make
channel
them for.
next, huh?
Yep.
I got to get in with this horsepower family. I think it's time
Come
for
on
an
in.
RSQ8. I can't afford the Lambo, but
Chopper Larry says it may have been a play from GM to squeeze Apple to loosen up on their licensing. I don't know, man. Apple's not going to really give. The problem with that kind of outlook is Apple still has all of the cards, because if GM says, okay, well, fine, we just won't let you use we won't let your platform work in our cars,
Right.
they lose, not Apple. Because people who have an iPhone, they're still going to buy iPhones, but they may not buy a GM now because it doesn't have Apple CarPlay. So if that was their play, that I think that's kind of a dumb one.
I've gotten spoiled with it for the last
Yeah.
3 years that I've had my
So
car.
have I.
And people keep saying they're not seeing when I type it into the chat.
Yeah,
Get a pen and a
I'm
paper.
not.
There's an issue tonight,
Here-
it seems like.
Here it comes. Get a pen and a paper. We'll do this old school.
Wonder what that's all
DBM
about.
I was gonna say
Racing.
I'm not seeing it pop up at all. So
Yeah, I put it in
you
like
can come
3
in
times. So
after this isn't live anymore, David. You can come in and put
and
the email in the comments too.
perfect. Perfect. But it's just DBM Racing 2019 at gmail.com.
Don't you think it's about time we start that car back there behind you? It's like I hear it crying from here.
Yeah, let's.
Look,
It's like, give me
Justin's
some
the boss.
attention.
Justin's the boss. So.
Horizon, we're about to do it right now. So David, go ahead and let's do the cold start. Do you have your key? Yeah. Okay.
Did you open up your garage to let all the fumes out?
They say there's no way he heard you. That car is so freaking loud.
Dude, I'm glad Brandon's isn't in here. I have earplugs in. That thing's 10 decibels louder than mine.
All right, guys. So we're still missing out on the giveaway.
Wonder what the issue is.
Oh, and actually, you know what? I was given the go ahead to spruce it up with something from Paragon, and I totally forgot about it. So
That'll be for next week.
next week we're gonna have something that's gonna spruce this up a little bit more for you guys, and it's something from Paragon that you're gonna love. So yeah, we're gonna leave that for next week. But
Joe Point just subscribed. I hope I said your name correctly.
Ponty. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you guys send me an email and
Barry.
I will come in afterwards and get that put into the comment section so you guys have it.
We're winding down. What do we have? Only about 2 more lives until the bash.
Yeah. So
do we get things set in stone as far as like
we're still
and stuff
we're
like
still
that?
working on that, but that's going to be the topic of conversation for the next 2 lives. We're going to talk a lot about
There
that.
is actually
Yes.
we're thinking Friday night there is going to be an HPO dinner.
No, we're going
It's
to
not going to be on a.
We're going to be doing dinners every night.
Okay, but it's not going to. HPO is not going to be paying, but
Jesus.
we can all get together. Whoever is going with us.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
big
and somebody in
dinner.
the comments asked about if Justin had put his sport cats on, and if you're coming to the bash, I'm 99.9% sure that Brandon and I are going to be doing them live, right there at the Paragon booth, and we're going to do them probably Friday morning, just before that way we can get them done before lunch. But I mean, come on by. You know, you can see somebody doing the install right there in front of you. So that's
Ooh,
kind
that'll
of the
be
plan for
cool.
right now.
If that is the plan currently, if I can wait. That's my thing is I'm really anxious to get these things on.
You can wait.
But that is the plan. And Lewis, I think you're right. I think YouTube's blocking the email address for some reason. I have no idea why, but I'm getting, like I said, tonight I got like 4 comments from people saying that their stuff's getting blocked. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna try and type it in there for you, David.
John says, "What? No free dinner?"
Okay.
Oh yeah, what is it again? It's DVM Racing 2019.
Yeah, DBM Racing 2019. Yep.
At Gmail.
Oh, there you go. I put spaces in. Maybe it came. Yes, DBM Racing 2019 at gmail.com.
Okay, you were able to get in. Do you think it's because you're a moderator?
It might be, but that's his email right there,
Probably.
guys. I got it to go through. Barry says, "Come on,
Awesome.
Justin, no free dinner." He took me for Taco Bell. Yeah.
We can maybe get you those dollar cheese roll-ups from Taco Bell.
Actually, Barry, are you coming to the bash? I haven't talked to you about it yet. That'd be pretty cool if you were coming.
Eric Bush, do I order a pizza and watch? Well, he can actually come to.
We talked about it.
Oh, you did? Okay. I guess I missed some of this while I was driving. I had my eyes on the road, so I didn't miss some of the comments.
Eric, do I order a pizza and watch? Yeah. You can.
Yeah, come on by. Come on
Eric,
by.
I think
we'll
you're
have...
from Texas, right, Eric? It's not that far of a drive to come up to the bash.
Well, and we're gonna record the install as well. So if you can't be at the bash, we're gonna do this anyway. If that's how it ends up doing it, where we do it there, of course there's gonna be plenty of content. But if we end up doing it there, Brandon, we're gonna record it. Justin will record it. We're gonna have plenty of comment
Yeah.
or content for you guys. But if you're gonna be at the bash, I'll still be. If we haven't hit 1,000 subs by then, come see me. I'm still gonna be signing people up. Come on over. But you can hear Justin's got the AWE exhaust. I've got the Paragon exhaust. You guys can hear them live. I'll do
Yep.
some ride-alongs. I don't care about that either. So
Yep. Yeah, Gary Phelps says he lives 2 hours from the bash and would love to meet up. Gary, shoot me an email, horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com, just so I can get you in on the email thread that we have going and get everybody included on this so no one gets left behind. Because we're going to do dinners every night after the show. We're going to hang out at the show. Like David said, we're going to do some installs at the show. It's going to be a good time.
yeah, and I'm talking to Paragon too. There's probably going to be some other stuff we're going to put on my car while we're there, but there's going to be lots going on. So come on over, check us out, hang out, just meet up. And I'd love to meet some of you guys in person that I see in the chat and see in the channel all the time.
Yep.
We're pretty down to earth guys, but come on out.
Yeah, I totally agree. Eric, are you going to make the trip from Texas up to the bash? Or if not, how about for Carlisle? It'd be pretty cool to see to meet you at one of those shows.
Michael, there's none left for him.
There's none left. He said
Well,
Onyx
and
wants some of
I
that
will
line.
tell you, Justin. I will tell you, Justin. Brandon just messaged me a little bit ago and said that he's got a guy with a supercharged E-Ray that's getting built right now in North Carolina that's going to come down to Georgia to race
Nice.
his Plaid and some of our other stuff. So
Nice.
that's going to be a fun one.
That is crazy.
Onyx is the lush.
Onyx is the lush, yeah. See, yeah, Bill, I've been in contact with them to see when they're going to make those. I think they're pretty cool. Yeah, the floating center caps.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet you all at the bash. Absolutely. Barry says he emailed you DBM, so hopefully I'm in for the wheels. You will be. Poor Onyx. Everyone's
If
sticking
you
around all day.
email me, you will get a response tonight. You'll be in.
Darren, I will be sticking around all day Saturday. I'm not leaving until Sunday. So I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, and Chopper, we got some stuff, like I said, with Paragon. You'll see that we'll have stuff coming in to install as well.
He wants those floating center caps. I've heard a lot of people asking about those. Marlon says he'll be there Friday. Look forward to seeing you guys. Again, guys, if you haven't emailed me, please do. I'd love to have everybody condensed so I know exactly who's going to be coming there to meet up and everything. So, Marlon, I don't think I have an email from you. It's just horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com.
Onyx is yawning like he did drink the wine. Do you see that?
Oh, DBM's Wi-Fi is getting spotty.
Uh-oh.
NBA Live Awesomeness. I've not put them on yet. We're going to do it at the bash if you want to come down and check it out, the install process. But yeah, guys, his Wi-Fi is checking out, so I think that's a good time for us to check out as well. Check out the links in the description down below to win a C8 Corvette Z06 or to go ahead and check out the National Corvette Museum Insurance. See if it's going to be cheaper for you to go with them. Make sure you put Horsepower Obsessed as the reason that you found them on step number 5, and you'll get the maximum discount. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know you like the content. Let David know that he's not wasting his time by being here. Smash that thumbs up button for us. Comment afterwards and let him know that he was appreciated to be here. And we will see you guys at the bash, or I'll see you next week.
Oh, no drawing.
I guess
Is there going to be a drawing? Are you giving away the?
No, not until we hit $300. So we'll carry everything over to next Monday night as well, guys. We will see you next Monday night.